Season 2, Ashika Island. We've got the overview. This update just came out, and we saw a lot of the actual main footage for it, but I do want to take a look at the actual video here. Yes, we do have it on freaking YouTube as well, so we get the full quality. We don't need the Twitter doo-doo quality. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's only 40 seconds, man. They just tease us. Ashika Island.
You must forge your path. Upon this island of war.
Hilo's on the map. Jet skis? Hopefully it's not like the motorbikes that they took away from us
returns.
in Warzone 1.
Free for everyone.
Love that. Yeah, the fact that these games are free to play now and you get this much stuff out of it is kind of insane. But, of course, still could be better. Still want some more big updates, but I do enjoy it. So, okay, here's a nice overview of the castle. Looks like it's kind of multi-layered, which is kind of like what we saw in Fortune's Keep. But on Fortune's Keep, which was the second Rebirth map that they had added, the Resurgence map they added back in Warzone 1, it was a lot more, like, vertical, and there was a lot more interiors inside of the building, which, granted, there's this big-ass building on the left here, which probably will have more. But the outside walls, I guess there's still a couple buildings here, actually. Plus, you still have another whole compound down here. Bridge. I'm just trying to get, like, a feel for how many places are there, really? So let's say the zone was closing right here, and the ring was around this. How many players are still going to be alive? You got somebody in here, a couple people at the walls here, maybe... You know, it does look pretty dense, especially, I guess you would assume that at the middle of the map in a high intention point.
Days, bro.
Oh, here's another angle on the castle. Look at how tall this is. So I feel like it will be like Fortune's Keep almost, where you do have a lot of interior for it.
Hey, Goat Mountain, congrats on the nuke.
Here's the underground river, and we saw kind of the entry point. So this is kind of the inside cave. So it's nothing, this is kind of just another angle of what we already saw here off of the photos. Here's another angle of the castle, so they're really focusing a lot on that. But look at let's look for the windows here. So there's a window up here, so you'll at least be able to get up to, what is that, 1, 2, 4 stories high. Obviously, you can climb, you can get anywhere on these as well, because there's helicopters, so you can get onto any of these roofs, you can do some sniping. Of course, we'll see how slanted it is at the top, how much it actually lets you head glitch, or look over that and shoot from your head off of it. Nice container area here. Might be like shipment almost. These jet skis. So this is probably the exit point into the port area, I would imagine, from that tunnel. This is another shot of that inside. Again, you can see it's right behind my head here. I'll move my head up a bit here. But you can see this is kind of the entry into the cave. So we kind of get to see the back side of the cave here. And I'm not seeing any like extraction points going up. It does look like there's another little point in the wall here. Maybe it's like another exit out to that side. There are some stairs here on the left side, though, so it could go up off of it. More of kind of the theme of the map here. See if there's any other shots we get. Yeah, they mostly focus on the castle. Oh, this is probably inside of the castle, I would assume, right? You can see a couple floors. Almost looks like the Caldera warehouse building. That was kind of like the point with there's a buy station just outside of it, just north of Village on Caldera, if you guys remember that. Some more shots of the container area, execution on top of the castle, another shot of the castle here, and then this is kind of the port side. No, I think this is kind of the port side, and up here is where the cave is. There's kind of a bridge going to the outside area. This is kind of the diving board. We saw 3 different helos flying here. Some parachuters heading in. All right, so a pretty cool overview there. Let's take a look at the details now, though. The buildings are Japanese-style architecture. Yeah, and I think it's pretty cool. I would imagine that we're going to get some shop packs that are like samurai operators and stuff like that, too. You know, stuff to go along with the theme. I think that would be cool. Recently, intercepted communication suggests that elements of the Shadow Company under the leadership of Redacted have taken control of the Isle, seemingly on the hunt for members of the Kanai group. While the location appears abandoned, there are whispers of on the wires, the Kanai operators remaining active in the conflict zone. Regardless of where you drop in, extreme caution is advised. So this will probably be part of the theme for the Battle Pass, as well as probably some stuff that's in the shop too, but maybe it's just the Battle Pass. We'll see. So here's some more of the points of interest. Oh, here's Farm. We didn't see a shot of this yesterday, or on Twitter at least. Some big this is actually pretty dense in terms of the number of warehouses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different big warehouses. A double stacker big warehouse over there. Although it does look a little bit more sparse on the exterior kind of edge of the island, almost like the runway up in Caldera in the northeast of the map, right? But there is still cover, which I like, as well as like at the Boneyard, kind of more on the eastern side of Caldera map. You had like the big area where there was still a lot of cover. This looks even denser though, with the number of hills and everything there. Of course, we'll see the perspective. Here's a shot from the top down as well here. Look out at ruins. So they do have a tower, kind of the classic sniper tower where you're super exposed with some ruins here. The northeast beach. Yeah, this is another shot of what I was just talking about there. You can kind of see, wow, it's even more sparse, whatever, out on the edge of the map here. But there is a tower out there. I feel like these towers are super useless in this game, though, because A, sniping is not that great, and B, there's so many kill streaks, and you can stack, a cluster and an airstrike and 5 other clusters in your bag. Of course, bags are going away, so it may not be as big of a deal, but you still have bags between 4 members of a team in squads, to where if you go up there, you're going to get precisioned out of that very quickly with no counter to it. And even in the last game, they weren't super ideal anyway. So here's another shot of the greenhouses. You can go in them. Now, it does look like you can go in all of them, too. Maybe it just depends. Maybe not this one, right? Looks like it might be blocked out by the truck, so that could take away some of the playable space, make it a little bit more manageable. We did see the shot of this with the double buildings there. Look at this. Oh, this would be so cool for a water ending, dude. This is kind of like, what, like a jetty or something? I don't know. L-shaped concrete barrier sunk into the seafloor to prevent tidal flooding. Yeah. And, let's say a game ends out here, you're out swimming, this could be a good reason to bring a pistol with you. Of course, we're not going to have the 3rd bag slot anymore. So it might be a bit of a big trade-off. You might have to look ahead to be like, all right, is this actually going to end the water? Should I bring a pistol here? Tourist center building as well. Cool little, looks like a 2-story building. Stairs in the exterior. It's a little bit of a closer-up shot. Another kind of 2-story. Probably some good cover on the top to do some shooting. Although you can see it is low ground to this big like hotel or apartments, whatever that is. There's another spot over there. Quite a bit at the top of the hill that this is still going to be low ground on. Science Center. Interesting. You know what's kind of cool for this too? That this is probably going to be the DMZ map as well, right? Like they did say there's this new map also for DMZ. We still haven't got the full details, I guess, for it. Maybe it even mentions this, we'll see, but in DMZ, loot specifically spawns more in specific locations. Like medical stuff is in the medical center. What if they have, since this is like a science center, what if they have even like science items? That's part of the new missions that you got to get. You got to go get like a certain chemical out of the science labs or something. Could be some new missions coming, which they are doing a full refresh on the missions, which is kind of exciting. New buildings, new sets of gear to loot. Obviously could lead into a sick future for that. What are they going to do? The Market District and Hotel. There's quite a few POIs. I think it might be a little bigger than what Rebirth was. From everything I've seen here, it does seem bigger. It does seem bigger than it. Off of just like, maybe it's just because it's all new and it's all flooding into me right here, but they do have multiple gas stations, I'm sure. Sure they will. Whoa, look at this town hall. This is a big build right here. 4 stories with the roof too. Another shot of the beach club. That's what they're calling it down here. This is where they got that big diving board. See, I feel like some of these end games with the water is really cool. I love the fact that you can go into the water. Oh, yeah, you can see the... Okay, so this is kind of the south tip. It right here is the beach club. And you can see the kind of resort side. They got some of the barriers blocking out the ocean. The aquarium. Oh, that's kind of cool. I love, like... now, I saw some people were posting, like, it looks a little... It doesn't look very vibrant. It kind of looks a little muted, and I think part of that is just the weather that they put over, where it's like super cloudy, and it's probably not going to have a lot of defined shadows, although here are some very defined shadows, so that maybe it'll be brighter, maybe it'll be different when we actually get in it. As well as you might be able to just tweak your own settings on your computer if that's something you really want. You could just boost the vibrancy, make it a little more vibrant on your end if you really wanted to. But I like that there at least is a lot of color, at least in certain parts of the map, and the design is different across all of it, right? Like they got this really cool blue aquarium that's very kind of got distinct colors. I got this red area that's kind of more the beach club. I guess this is kind of bland, but they've got this big ass town hall which is at least a very distinct building. And then you go kind of even like this is kind of more run down, little market. Where was the? Have we seen the castle yet? I guess we haven't seen the castle yet. All right, we'll probably get to that in a second. Yeah, right here. I thought this was actually a lot more pink on it, but it's actually a lot more green with the rooftops. Is very Japanese style. You got the pink. What do they call those? Are they like I forget what those trees are called? Lotus trees or something? It's the first thing that comes to my head, but probably wrong. Even though, they got a little scaffolding so you can still climb up on some of the exteriors. Looks very cool. North Museum grounds. So this is kind of an extension of the castles, like a museum, which is also partly under construction here. Waterways. Okay, so this is the submarine base. This is another shot of this. Okay, so there is a second floor up here. I didn't notice this. So I wonder if this is more loot up here or if this connects up to the surface. Because what you don't want is like really one point of entry where you get stuck here, and that's the only way to get in. Carved in the rocks, Waterways offers an underground route to the from the west, north, and east. Don't make the mistake of thinking there aren't many additional insertion points allowing operators to access from the castle grounds above as well. Okay, perfect. I think this is a very good thing in general. This is the approach they took as well for Fortune's Keep, which is the last map they came out with. Swim or pilot an aquatic craft through the interconnecting canals with a central submarine dock and many other... Oh, submarine dock. I wonder if there's even like an underwater route outside of it as well. That would be super cool. Obviously, they could just take the sub through the main path here, but, that could be very cool as well. Point of interest, here's the port. Ashika, another... Okay, so this is kind of actually a bigger port. I don't think we've seen this one either. This kind of looks more industrial with some of the approach, which is kind of like what we saw at the other end with the beach, the humpback bridge. All right. This is some more shots of the entry into the underground. Okay, so this is at the main port, it looks like. Or where the warehouses are. Yeah, on the side of the port. Okay, so this is kind of... A lot of this is very building heavy, which that is how Rebirth Island is as well, right? It's like almost all buildings the whole way across. There's some spots that are a little bit more open, kind of like the east side of the map, which is one of the areas I like to drop. It was a little bit more open where there's like the underground tunnel entrance into the bottom of the jails. But even that had kind of control center there, and then there was that reset point with the self-res that spawned the trash cans in the back there. That's where I always like to go. Here's a residential area. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen any of the residential. Look at this. There's a whole strip of residential here. The low ground between Castle and the north of Farms. I don't think we saw that yet either. Kind of a little more run down. This will probably be like Akdar Village, even just south of that. All those just random houses. Okay, so is this hospital? This looks like a hospital to me. Apartments. Okay. Yeah, I mean, first glance, the color of it at least, I kind of like peachy color. Yeah, I see how this apartment's here. This entry, though, this made me instantly think of Verdansk Hospital right here. Holy. But this looks very cool. Like, even they got some of the details. Got a couple zips. Okay, I like that. Power plant as well. Just west of the castle. Water treatment facility as well. See, it's like, it's not just... It feels like the whole map is more thought about of, like, a real place. Same thing with Al Mazrah. You got, like, the city. You do have, like, the power out in the oil area with Rohan. You've got the other cities down south. With Akdar, you got the fortress all the way down. It feels like there's a lot more distinct areas on Al Mazrah, and it's a very big map. I feel like they're almost coming at it with this approach onto Ashika Island here as well, where there's a lot of distinct areas. It's more thought. I mean, they did that a lot on Verdansk as well. Maybe on Caldera you could argue it too. They've done it a lot recently, especially with these big maps. Looks cool though. That's my point. Looks cool. Looks consistent with what they usually do. Look at this. It's even a little foggy here. Shipwreck. Okay, so they do have a couple shipwrecks here. Now this, yeah, this is where the containers are as well. Oh, that's kind of cool. This one, they kind of like took some of the containers out of the ship here that's like kind of sunk. This one still has more containers on it. This is cool. I like it though. Some cool containers. Yeah, see how they're kind of stacked? You can get up on them, run up, jump up. Obviously, like shipment, stuff like that. Yeah, shipment for sure. Off the Call of Duty maps and everything. Cliff top demolition as well. Looks cool. Right on top of a cliff. A couple zips coming up. Yeah, see, like this is more of an open area, but not even that open because there's still a ton of containers, construction stuff. Look at the rocks. Some good, you know, a little bit of a mountain climb here, but there's still rocks at the top of it, so there'll still be some cover. You can still make some plays. I like that. It does make it so it's not, you know, a lot of great big open line of sights, but you'll get those line of sights when you get to the top of the big buildings and everything, you know? Lookout point and gas station. Oh, that's kind of cool. Just like a bit of highway here that's just clean. Still like, it's kind of still like a narrow road right on the cliff sides. It's kind of like you're driving down PCH. There it is. Okay, so cool little overview of the map. Some cool screenshots. Definitely excited to see myself. But, you know, video was kind of the specific main areas. The overall overview, though, I feel like it gave me a good little picture of the map. Obviously, we can't tell that much. I'm not going to speak to any of the, what I think it, you know, I don't know. I want to see how it plays. I'm big into actually seeing gameplay or playing it myself, see how it feels, and just, is it fun? Overall, it looks like it's very dense. It looks very thought out, which I like to see. It doesn't look like it was just kind of slapped together, and hopefully it leads to some really good fights. My biggest thing, I said this in the last one, is it's got to have some good potential for outplays, maneuverability. You want to be able to climb up places, make a play on somebody, you know, get something flashy, get a good positioning, good angles. And Call of Duty is usually pretty good at the angles and such, but you lose a lot of the ability to outplay people when you take the movement and stuff out of the game, which they've kind of reintroduced with the Season 2. They'll have it so you can bust through doors and stuff. But I think that is going to be the difference maker for this map. And is it really fast-paced enough? Like, when you play resurgence modes, it's nonstop. You always have stuff to loot. You always have people to kill. You're constantly respawning or getting timer off your clock or whatever, all the way till the end game. And then at the end game, you have a little bit of time to then execute, to make your plays, to do what you want to do. Often that came down to gas plays, stim plays, movement plays. Now, we don't have a lot of that in this game. Ravensoft has taken over. They're making a lot of changes to the game, even everything they've put out. They are bringing it more in line with what we saw in Warzone 1, but it's still not quite fully there. I think it's going to be a big adjustment for people who haven't played Warzone 2 yet, or they gave up on it right away because they've been waiting for the Resurgence mode to come out. This is still probably going to be different than what we saw in Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island. So I don't know how much people are going to like it. I am super interested, though. You know, like a week after this comes out, stop by the stream, stop by one of my videos on whatever this is, and tell me what you think about it, especially if you are one of those Rebirth players. I would be super interested just so I can see what's going on with it, and I'll definitely be watching other people that are playing it, going through some of their videos, reading comments on it, because I just want to get an idea of what even other people think about it. I always find it interesting how it compares to what I feel about some of the game, but I like to do it all myself, to play it, experience it, see what my own takes are on it too. So if you guys enjoyed the little overview of it, give it a like. As always, double check you're subscribed to the page, all the pages, all the content. And I'll see you next time. Somat64, over and out. Later, guys.